Now, the girl who was number 5 in under 16 from Kwara State, Yanu Oluwa Falano, became the ASO Keda Girls Singles champion.
Wow.
Beating all others.
Wow.
So it has already started having an impact. And what I expect is that hereafter, a lot more states will key into this program. Because there's no point limiting it to only the states that we know now for table tennis. Some of these states, for example, Kwara, nobody expected that Kwara was going to turn out that beautifully, even during the under 16. Out of the 8 players that will be playing on Saturday, 3 of them are from Kwara. And Lagos, naturally, would expect 3 from Lagos, 1 from Ekiti, and 1 from Cross River. But we will expect that more states will take advantage of this program and get involved. And I want to urge the coaches, because they are very close to these players. Some of the coaches should go around the streets where these kids play table tennis, not necessarily in the schools, because some of the schools don't even have the facilities anyway. But there are tables on the streets where kids play, and if I tell you that Bose Kafo, the great Bose Kafo, was discovered playing table tennis on the streets many years ago. And in 1985, I happened to be the only international umpire invited from Africa to officiate in the US Open. Bose Kafo, at the age of 13, was in that Nigerian team. Wow. So if Bose could do it, there are so many others that can also do it. All they need is to get discovered and nurtured to stardom.
We have done so well with the National Under-16 League. We have discovered names. You know, the guy Etim Orok, the Orok guy from Cross River. We'll also have the momentum to keep for Abayomi and Imashao. But the Super League is on Saturday. What's the objective? What are we doing with that?
The objective actually is to expose these players at a very young age. And that's why all of them that are going to play on Saturday will be representing Nigeria at the Nigerian Open. Yes. Ooh. There's this event called the Under-21 men's singles. That's the only one they can play, because they cannot play in the senior category. So all of them, for having qualified to play in the grand finale of the Super League, they are going to play. And so you can imagine young players rubbing shoulders with international players, because we have some international players coming also for the Under-21 men's singles and women's singles. So after that, we expect that there will be more tournaments in Nigeria, and they will take part and continue to grow, so that when the likes of Aruna Quadri, Shegun Tirola leave the stage, there will be automatic replacements.
You wouldn't have to wait for a long time. Now, you mean all the 20 players that will be participating in the Super 6, all of them?
Yes, we play also in the Nigerian Open.
Everyone.
Yes.
Wow. This is more like a dress rehearsals for that one.
It is. Because well, they are local champions here, so we want to test their match against international players, and we won't be surprised if some of them come out tops, because the way they have prepared themselves. Just 2 weeks after they came here in Lagos to play the Under-16, they went to Abuja, and look at the fantastic in Abuja during the ASO. The 4 semi-finalists in the Keda Girls Singles were all from Kwara. Wow. The 4 of them. So similarly, in the Keda Boys Singles, 3 of them were from Lagos, of course, joined by the great Abayomi and Masha.
That's the future right there.
Okay, the draws have been concluded for the boys and the girls. You have 12 boys and 8 girls. First of all, why just 8 girls?
Well, because there were 20 girls to start with. There were 32 boys. And the standard, we must give it to the boys that the standard for now of the girls is not as high as that of the boys. And because we will not want players that would not represent Nigeria well, particularly with the idea that they would be allowed to play in the Nigerian Open, we had to limit it to 8. And for the 12 boys, they are going to play in 4 groups, 3 players per group. 2 players will qualify from each group, and if there are 4 groups, then will go straight into the quarterfinals. But there are only going to be 2 groups for the girls, 8 of them, 4 per group. 2 players qualify from each group and they go to the semi-finals.
Okay, also, can you just tell us some of the names there that we're expecting to see on Saturday?
On Saturday, we are expecting that the likes of Augustine Emmanuel from Lagos, Anyowale Jamiu also from Lagos, Soma Kudus also from Lagos, Obayomi Michael from Lagos, then Abayomi Animation from Ekiti, Ololade Oyenekon from Lagos, from Ondo State, Mati Taiwo, from Cross River Etimorok, and also from Ondo State, Mati Solomon. Their siblings, one is Taiwo, the other one is Solomon. And from also Lagos, Olawon Joshua, Martins Abayomi from Ekiti, and Gabriel Akinduru from Ondo State. For the girls, we are going to be seeing the likes of Ayila Begon, Shukrat. She's the current best in Nigeria. But in Abuja, you couldn't believe it. She was beaten by the number 5 girl that was number 5 in the under 16.
Wow.
Very close match, 3-2. But Falono Yanuolua from Kwara beat Ayila Begon. There's also a teammate from Kwara, Rafiat Jimo, and Oyeni Kende is from Lagos. Yanuolua, the great Falano, is from Kwara. Ifeoluwa Motosha from Lagos, and from Cross River, Vivian Epenyong. These are the players that are going to do Nigeria proud at the Open, and so, like you just mentioned, this is a dress rehearsal for them, and we are expecting that it's going to be as tough as even playing in the Nigerian Open.
You know, I'm wondering, why is it a one-day tournament? Just going to play on the 14th and that's it?
It is a one-day tournament because we think we can finish the program within that period. Yes, we're going to play in groups and thereafter go to play in the knockout.
Will they not get tired because I'm looking at the game?
They still have Monday. They still have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to rest before the Nigerian Open on Wednesday.
Cecilia, I'm tired. You know, when Mr. John Peters was looking at those names, I was just seeing the future of Nigerian table tennis right there.
That's where it is.
Those are the names we need to monitor right there. While I was reading out the profile of Mr. John Peters, I took off this one because it's just too much. 3 African umpires will be at the Olympics, and he's one of them, alongside Cecilia Ariye, also a legend of table tennis in Nigeria. She and John Peters will be at the Olympics. Now, Aruna Quadri, Shegun Toriola, Edem Ofyong, and Funke Oshonaike, they will be at the Olympics with you. I'm sure your buyers will be there. You'll be looking towards their table to see.
Well, unfortunately, I may not be able to umpire the matches.
They will not put you there. But let's talk about our preparations for the Olympics. Doesn't it worry you?
Well, I'm no longer worried. I used to be worried.
He's giving up.
My worries will not change anything now, so there's no point worrying. But I think we could do better than we have done. Getting the fact that we are not likely to win any medal anyway, but at least it's good. Because if you look at the history, I did a little study. I looked at all the table tennis events from all the past Olympic Games, and just a few medals went out of China. China, in some events, China was first, was second, was third, and all that. So if we're expecting to win any medal, maybe not now, but at least we should be seen to want to prepare to that period when we can start to win medals. And I expect that the usual excuse will be finance. So why not appeal to private organizations? I think that's possible. Table tennis has got to a stage now in Nigeria that we should be having all sponsors falling over themselves, wanting to come to the aid of table tennis. And I think the standard is high. In Nigeria, in the whole world, in Nigeria is number 29.
That's massive.
Yes. So if we support table tennis from the grassroots, we can get to that stage when Nigerians will be in the first, many Nigerians, not only one.
Nigerians,
yes. So we expect that with all these appeals, some Nigerians, to sponsor table tennis is not very expensive at all. It's not expensive. All we need is the hall, which we have, the balls, which we have, the players, who we have, and we get all the excitement. So I hope that this will teach us. In another 4 years, we're going to play another Olympics.
Yeah.
So can we start immediately? We come back from this year's Olympics and prepare for the next one.
Oh.
Okay.
That's what we have always started doing in the table tennis umpiring circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nowadays, it's no longer possible for one umpire to go to more than one Olympics. So definitely, Cecilia and I will not be going to the next Olympics. But we have started a program such that by the special grace of God, we should have other umpires who will qualify to go to the Olympics in another 4 years.
Let's talk about the umpire now.
Yes.
And how is it like in Nigeria? That apart from you and me, the popular ones that we know, how well are we having and young was actually embracing it?
Yes, we just had an arrangement with the ITTF, the International Table Tennis Federation. An ITTF expert is going to come here from Sunday to train our umpires to write examinations and start the process of leading them to being blue badge umpires.
Okay.
And if we get this through, it takes about a minimum of 2 years to be a blue badge umpire if you start it right and do it right. But unfortunately, you don't have two open international tournaments here in Nigeria, so they have to travel abroad to do some of the evaluations, some of the umpiring. And if we get many sponsors to support them, because like when I was going through the process, I went to China, I went to the US, I went to Croatia, I went to a lot, all on my own, with support from the great man, Mr. Wahid Oshudi, who has been of great assistance to me.
We want to let you go, but how can we let you go without you telling? Because I was at the African Open in Cameroon, and I saw it was a difficult game you were trying to, I think it was against Lachine and one other guy.
Yes.
Tell us about the most difficult table tennis match you've officiated.
Well, I must say it was, funnily, the match between Lachine and Aruna Quadri. Can you imagine that in Maputo 2011 All Africa Games, these two guys were to play the third place match. The referee was an Egyptian. Lachine is Egyptian, Quadri Nigerian. And the referee said, John, that match is for you. And I said, no, Quadri is Nigerian. He said, no, we trust you. Even though we know that Quadri is Nigerian, we trust that you're going to do it well.
Yeah.
And so I had to take special care to do it well so that nobody, and in the end it was good because everybody congratulated one another and said, oh, that was good umpiring. Okay. Once you get that type of remark, you feel happy that you've done a great job.
I guess that's why you're at the Olympics right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, John Peters, for coming around.
Thank you very much.
All the best for the work you're doing, being an umpire and also contributing to the development of table tennis in Nigeria. Mr. John Peters has been there, done that. What Pierluigi Collina is to world football officiating, that's what he is to table tennis in Nigeria. You don't want to talk about table tennis umpiring and you don't call John Peters. Good to have him join us on the program. We cannot stop talking about season 8 of the Channels National Kids Cup. Let's go on this break. When we come back, we'll continue the show. Stay with us.